Okay, Megan, we're doing the second half of 4-4 that we started. I have no idea what day, because it feels like it's been a while. But here's homework assignment for that. It's kind of seems like a long one. But we are on example 5, I think. No, example 3. Example 3, okay? 4-4, example 3. What you need, do you guys have your unit circle? Get him. We need him. Unit circle, unit circle. Okay? All right, right above example 3, we have this little box right here, right? You see this box? Okay? That guy has all of the same stuff the unit circle has. So you don't even need really that box. He's all ready to go. We have sine, cosine, tangent. The only thing is with this box, okay? You have sine, you have cosine, you have tangent on your unit circle, right? Sine and cosine, let's talk about them. X and Y, which one is first? Which one's the X? Cosine. It goes cosine first, then sine, right? So you just look at those coordinate points on your unit circle. Now, tangent is already also on there, but on your unit circle, you do not have these guys. How do you get them? How do you get cosecant, secant, cotangent? How do you get those three if you don't have them on your unit circle? I have this box, right? And all this stuff is on my unit circle, except it doesn't explicitly say cosecant, secant, cotangent. How do I get those guys if I have these guys on my unit circle? Yeah. Reciprocal identity, yeah. So sine and cosecant go together. What's the flip of 1/2? 2, right? Cosine and secant go together. What's the flip of the square root of 3/2? 2 square root of 3/3 after you rationalize it, right? If you do tangent and you flip it, you get square root of 3, all the things, right? Okay, so that's how you get those other 3. Okay, here we go. Evaluate the functions. They want sine of 240 degrees. This should be like super quick and easy. Go to 240 on your unit circle. What quadrant? You don't have to draw this. He's in the third. Okay, sine is asking for the y coordinate. What's the y coordinate at 240?
Negative square root of 3/2.
Negative square root of 3/2. Done. Okay? Good? Nice. Okay? Now, how do we find tangent of negative 225? Yeah, you could go backwards. Also, you could find the coterminal angle and add 360, right? What's negative 225 plus 360? Probably like 135. So now we're just finding tangent of 135. What's tangent 135? Negative 1, I believe. Yeah. Okay? We see him? Good, good? Okay, now we want secant of 11 pi over 6. Okay, first and foremost, 11 pi over 6 lives where? 4, quadrant 4. 11 pi over 6 is over here. He is at like 330 degrees or 300, yeah, 330, isn't he? Yeah. 330, okay. That's what 11 pi over 6 is. But I want secant, and I don't have a secant, so I'm going to look up instead, which one?
2 square roots.
Hold on, which one? Instead of secant, you're going to look up?
Sine, or cosine.
Cosine. So let's find cosine of 11 pi over 6, which is how much? What did you say?
Square root of 3/2.
Square root of 3/2. Now, if I want secant, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to flip it. So this is 2 over the square root of 3, but if I rationalize him,
It's
2 square roots of 3/3. Can you guys do that without like writing it out? Yeah. Can you rationalize, put the square root of 3 on the top and it's 3? Yeah, okay. Okay, so 2 square roots of 3/3, that's what secant of 11 pi over 6 is. Good? Beautiful. Okay, same thing again, except with a little different. Okay, secant of 9 pi over 2. I don't have a secant, so I'm going to do what instead? Instead of secant, we're going to do cosine of 9 pi over 2, except 9 pi over 2 is not on your unit circle. Why not? He's too big. 9 pi over 2 is too big, right? So what do we do to make him smaller?
Subtract.
Subtract what?
2 pi something.
2 pi, right? I'm going to subtract 2 pi, right? Because that's one full circle. But I want to get a common denominator, so I have to make this 2, which makes that subtracting 4 pi over 2, right? If I subtract 4 pi over 2, what's 9 pi over 2 minus 4 pi over 2? 5 pi over 2. Do I have a 5 pi over 2 on your unit circle?
Yes. Yeah. Wait. No.
No, so we've got to do what again?
Subtract again.
Subtract another 4 pi over 2, which is just pi over 2. Okay, so we're going to find cosine of pi over 2. Okay, cosine is the x coordinate. Pi over 2 is 90 degrees. Pi over 2 is like here. This is pi over 2. What's cosine of pi over 2? Zero, yeah. Okay, done? Zero?
I just don't.
Pardon?
Zero?
Undefined.
Yep.
I want secant.
Oh, shoot.
What's the flip of zero?
Wait.
Undefined. Okay, so final answer is not zero. Final answer is undefined. But you have to you have to do the zero to get to that answer, right? So, like, we're doing like 4 things at once. Just make sure you get them all, like, figured out, right? Don't forget what they're actually asking. Okay, so how do I do sine of negative 510?
Add 360.
Add 360. If I do that, I get negative 150. Is that true? Yeah, negative 150. Then what? Add 360 again. That is 210. So sine of negative 510 is the same thing as sine of 210 because negative 510 and 210 are what? What are those called? What are those called? Like negative 510 and 210. Co-terminal. All right. So at 210, what quadrant are we in for 210?
3.
Quadrant 3?
Yeah.
Okay, and sine is the y coordinate. What's y at 210?
Negative 2.
No.
Or, well, negative 1 over 2. But the. Oh, we did.
We're just doing
So
sine.
negative 1 over 2. Yeah.
Negative 1/2. There you go. That's it. Okay, and we're not looking for secant or cosecant. We just want negative 1/2. Good? Yeah? Most of these are just look up on your unit circle, find what he is. There he is. Got it? Okay. All right. 5 and 6 are kind of similar to each other. Given that. All right. You have 2 pieces of information that you're given. Ready? Circle them. This guy right here and this guy right here. Okay, you need to pay attention to these 2 guys in the fact of the signage. Here, sine is positive or negative, which one?
Negative.
Negative. Here, cosine is positive or negative, which one? Positive. Okay, in which quadrant? So cosine is the x-coordinate, right? Cosine is the x-coordinate. What quadrant has cosine positive and sine negative?
4.
Right? So basically, you're going positive in the x direction and you're going negative in the y direction. That is the 4th quadrant. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now that I know what quadrant I'm in, I'm going to draw a triangle in the 4th quadrant, and now I'm going to label, right? Angle theta lives here, okay? Now I'm going to label my sides. What do I use to label my sides? We know he's in quadrant 4. Do you see why he's in quadrant 4?
Yeah.
Yes. Now what I...
Can you like
What?
Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse.
Yeah, so they tell me sine, and sine is which over which?
Sine.
Mm-hmm.
over H.
Yeah.
Opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite side is 4 and the hypotenuse is 7. Which side's the opposite side? Like in this diagram right here. The tall one, right? Like this one over here. That's 4. The hypotenuse is 7. But thank you.
She just left.
You can't hear. Your neck is red.
Yeah, I don't know where she went. Where'd she go?
I think she went to Cleveland.
Mine's developed hand.
You look red.
Do I look tan or anything?
You also could look red. I don't know.
Okay.
Do
All
I
right,
look
now.
tan Remington?
You look pale.
Okay, here's the problem. 4 and 7, one of those has to be negative because sine is negative 4 7s. So which one's negative?
Yeah, 4.
Right, because 4 is going down, right? So don't forget that the 4 has a negative on him. Okay, now how do I figure out this side?
A squared.
Oh.
A squared, B squared, C squared. So let's call him A. I don't know. A squared plus negative 4 squared equals 7 squared, right? Okay, what's negative 4 squared?
16.
Positive 16 equals 49. Let's subtract the 16, and that is how much? 33? 33. Oh, my heavens. That is the square root of 33. We're going to leave him like that. Don't make him a decimal. Okay? So, square root of 33, that's what he is. Square root of 33. Now, hold up. just before we do all the other stuff, signage. Should he be a positive square root of 33 or a negative square root of 33? Why? Because he's going to the right, right? Okay, so we have our triangle labeled. Now they only want us to find cosine of theta and tangent of theta. How do I do that?
Cosine and tangent.
Yep, SOHCAHTOA. If you need to write it out, go for it. SOHCAHTOA.
Opposite adjacent.
Okay, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Which one's adjacent?
Negative or square root of 33
Oh, I like it.
over
Over 7, and we don't have to rationalize. That's nice. That's cosine. Tangent is OA. Boo.
4 square root of
Negative 4 over the square root of 33, or
negative 4 square root of 33 over 33.
you got it. There you go. That's tangent. Good. Yes, ma'am.
When I'm plugging in zeros and I have x to the third plus 4x squared minus 5, do I need to add an x in there to plug it in?
Do you need to add an
So
x?
it's like 3, 2, aren't you supposed to have another x? And then
Are you dividing or are you just plugging them in?
you're just plugging it
No,
in? No?
we don't care.
Okay.
If you're doing like long or synthetic division, then yes. But when you're plugging stuff in, nope, doesn't matter. Okay. That was for college algebra, not for you, Megan. Sorry if you're confused. Okay, they give you these again. These are also on your unit circle, whatever. Example 6. This is like the same thing again. Sine, tangent. This is not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is not too bad.
The data went on that. Wow. Easy context.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's draw a picture. Example 6, last problem. Woo! Last problem. They tell you what cosine is. Shh, here we go. They tell you what cosine is. They tell you quadrant 2. I'm going to draw a thing in quadrant 2. Here's my angle theta. Here's my right angle. Cosine is what over what? C-A-H. A over H. The adjacent side is 3. The hypotenuse side is 5. Which one of those is negative?
The 3.
The 3, because he's going to the left, right? Okay, I need to figure out what this side is. Let's call him A. I don't care. A squared plus negative 3 squared equals 5 squared. A squared plus 9 equals 25. If we subtract the 9, we get... Oh, I love it. You should know that already. Because this is a what?
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5, right. Yes. Now, should the 4 be positive or negative? Positive, because he's going up, right? Okay, always check that before you start doing all your other stuff. Now we just need to find sine of theta and tangent of theta. And that's all. Sine is OH, tangent is OA. What do you got? This is so nice. No rationalizing because there's no square root. Sine OH, 4/5.
And then
Awesome. OA,
4 over negative 3.
4 over negative 3. If you want to put the negative out to the front, it doesn't matter. There you go. That was super nice. That was super nice. I love it. Good? All right. Now, just FYI, real quick. One more thing I want to add. Are you ready? Can you handle this? Okay. I'm going to do this real quick, and this is going to look really foreign, and you got to listen because this is going to be kind of confusing. Okay? I'm going to pick on this guy. Right here. Ready? Do you see where it says sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1? Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. All right, here's the deal. I know that cosine is negative 3/5. This guy right here is negative 3/5. All I have to do is square him, and that's cosine squared. Okay? Cosine is negative 3/5. That's what they gave me. Okay? So if I'm trying to find sine, I literally have this thing going on. I can put negative 3/5 in that spot to figure out what sine is, right? Okay? If I take negative 3/5 and square it, what does it come out to be? Positive.
9 over 20.
Positive 9 over 25. Okay, now how do I solve for sine of theta? 9 over 25, I can bump him to the other side, so subtract 9 over 25. Okay?
16.
So 1 minus 9 over 25, this is like 25 over 25 minus 9 over 25. which is 16 over 25. Okay, now I want to get rid of the square on sine. How do I get rid of the square? I take the square root, right? Sine of theta is, what's the square root of 16 over 25? 4 over 5. Now here's the deal. It's plus and minus, but if we are in the second quadrant, is sine positive 4 over 5 or negative 4 over 5?
Negative.
Sine.
Second, oh,
Positive 4 over 5. So the deal here is we used this information and this Pythagorean identity to figure out what sine is. We didn't even have to graph it, right? Now, if you know that cosine is, what did we say cosine was? Negative 3/5. And sine is positive 4/5. How do I use that to find tangent?
it's just 4 negative.
Tangent is sine over cosine. Okay, sine is 4/5, cosine is negative 3/5. I can keep flip times negative 5/3. The 5s are going to cancel, so he is negative 4/3. Is that what we got for tangent? You betcha. So you can use these Pythagorean identities, and that's how they work. They will end up giving you the correct answer also. Yeah? Or you can graph it, whatever. Okay, so that's how you use these guys. All right, good? Yes? Okay, that's all. Beautiful, beautiful. I think so. Do you guys have your book open? There might be one homework problem that I want to do with you because it's a weird one. And we don't have a homework assignment that's like it.
That paper's on.
Sorry, Megan, just hang on for a second. This one?
It's not. It's like gold plated. I think that's right. It's like silver, but it's gold plated.
No, maybe not. It's in a different section. We haven't done it yet. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay. Goodbye, Megan. Yes.